You can tell where somebody is in their walk with God by if you ask them what is the image that they equate with Jesus. If they say, he's a child in the arms of his mother Mary. Okay, that tells you where the revelation of Jesus stopped. There's been no more progress since the virgin birth. What they believe is correct, but there's been no more progress since then. Some will say Jesus on the cross. Well, that's good and that's great and that's true, but their revelation of Jesus stopped at his suffering and his death. We need to understand that Jesus was born a child, but he didn't remain a child. He died on a cross, but he didn't stay on the cross. Jesus rose again. Now, you and I must learn to walk in the revelation of who Jesus is today, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Listen to how John puts it in Revelation chapter 1, beginning with verse 12. When I turned to see who was speaking to me, I saw 7 golden lampstands. Those are the local churches. And in the middle of the lampstands was someone like the Son of Man. He was wearing a long robe with a gold sash across his chest. His head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were like flames of fire. His feet were like polished bronze refined in the furnace, and his voice thundered like the mighty ocean waves. He held 7 stars in his right hand, and a sharp 2-edged sword came from his mouth. And his face was like the sun in all its brilliance. When I saw him, I fell at his feet as if I were dead. And he laid his right hand on me and said, don't be afraid. I'm the first and the last. I'm the living one. I died, but look, I am alive forever, and I hold the keys of death and the grave. Now, brothers and sisters, if there was ever anybody who should have had a stuck revelation of Jesus, it should have been John. He lived with Jesus. He saw Jesus walk on the water. He saw the miracles of Jesus. He ate with Jesus. He prayed with Jesus. He had incredible memories. But now, 30 years, really more like 60 years after the death and resurrection of Jesus, here in the late 90s or mid-90 AD, down near the end of the 1st century, he's on the island of Patmos all by himself, and Jesus appears to him. I wonder how he felt. I've often sat in my office or sat in my prayer place. And how did he feel? It's been a long time since he heard that voice. He knew that voice. How he felt as he sat there all alone in that cave, overlooking the 7 churches of Asia, because that's where he was. Persecuted for his faith. They couldn't kill him. The Roman government couldn't kill him, so they banished him to Patmos by himself. As he sat there all by himself, Jesus began to speak to him. And he accepted the revelation of Jesus saying, John, this is who I am today. I'm no longer the carpenter. I'm no longer the guy who walks on the water. I'm no longer the guy that they can hang on a cross and kill. I was dead, but now I'm alive forevermore. And John, I'm walking among the churches today. I walk among the 7 golden lampstands. I'm here with you. John accepted the revelation of who Jesus is today. My question to you as a Christian, have you parked in the virgin birth? Have you parked on the cross? Have you even parked at the resurrection? Can you realize that Jesus is far greater than our minds can comprehend today? And let that new revelation of who he is today flow into your heart.